Hi, my name is Darrin Lythgoe, and today I'll be installing TNG version 12, the upgrade from version 11. I'll be explaining the process by which we download the files, unzip them, upload them to our previous website, and follow the instructions so that we don't lose any data or customizations. I'll be using a Mac and my browser is Chrome, but these instructions should be general enough that it shouldn't matter which platform you use on your home computer. So the first step is to find the email that you should have received after purchasing the upgrade. It will contain a URL, a link, and a login to the TNG 12 downloads page. So if you click that link and then log in, this is where you'll get. Near the top you'll see the TNG full version area, so since this is your upgrade you don't want to do that. Let's skip that section. If you install the full version on top of your existing site, you'll lose your data and your customizations, and that would be bad. So scroll down to the TNG updates portion, and now you need to find the upgrade most appropriate for the version you're running right now. So I said I was going to upgrade a site that's running TNG 11. So if I knew I was doing 11.1.2, I could do the second one here. But if I'm not sure, maybe it's 11.0 or point 0.1, then this is a safe bet here. So I'm going to click that link to start the download. And you can see for me it's downloading there in the lower left. I should point out at the same time in this right column here, it mentions that the installation instructions will be in this file called readme11x-12.html. So once I've got it downloaded, I go unzip everything. That's where I want to look for the installation guide. Okay, now that the file is done downloading, let's right click and bring it up in the folder where it's located. Here's my zip file, and for me I can just right click and unzip. That has created a folder here with all the files and folders that are relevant to the upgrade. Not all the files that are in the full version will be here. These are just things that have changed. So I'm going to scroll down and find that README file that was mentioned. Don't be confused by this other README file, which is the full version installation guide. Let's go right to the one that it mentioned, and I'm going to double click there to bring that file up in a browser. Okay, here are the instructions, and they're kind of condensed so as to make it a little cleaner. So to see any one in more detail, click the Show Instructions link next to the step. Now, the first step is to back up anything that you may have customized, any settings files, and your database. Just in case something doesn't go as planned, it'd be great to have a backup. If you've done this recently, you don't really have to do it again, but if it's been a while or never, then by all means, before you upgrade, please download these files, back up your database. Okay, so to start with, let's connect to our website so that we can see how we might do that. You can use an FTP program, or you might use the file manager on your site control panel. I'm going to use FileZilla because that's a pretty good FTP program and it's free. So let's pull it up, and you see I'm already connected to my website. Let's pretend that I'm not, and I'm going to go up to the site manager. And if I connected before, I'll have a site already defined here. If not, I can click on the New Site button to create a new connection. And here's where I'd enter all the connection information that I'd received from my hosting provider. My host name, the protocol. Some providers want you to use something more secure than just a regular FTP. If that's the case, you'd pick that there. Same here with the encryption. I'm just using the plain FTP. Here's where I'd enter my username and password, and take note that the login type is normal. So when I connect to my database, I just hit connect. It says, alright, you're already connected. Don't worry about that. Okay, so once I'm connected, The folders from my website are here on the right, and the folders from my local computer are here on the left. So let's find the site that I was interested in upgrading. It's in the folder called TNG11. So I double click on that, and now there are all the files and folders. And on the left, let's find the files that I just downloaded. I happen to know they're in the Downloads folder, and they're in the TNG Upgrade 11 folder that I downloaded. Okay, so here are the files that I'll be uploading. Now the first step was to do a backup though, so if I have any files that I need to back up, I need to go find them here on the right. Let's, for example, say I wanted to back up my config.php file. Scroll down to find that. There it is. Maybe I want to do the custom config file too, so I use Command or Control and click that one too. I need a place to put them over on the left, so maybe I'll right click over there and choose to create a new directory. Let's call it backups, all uppercase. Now I just drag and drop those files from the right over to that folder on the left. Excellent. Okay, now let's talk about backing up the database. So back in my browser, I'm going to go to a new tab and go to that location that I'm backing up. Here's the version 11 site, and I'm going to go to the admin area. I'm already logged in. And so let's say I need to back up the database. I go down to the Utilities section, and I can easily back up all the tables by clicking Select All with selected Backup. Go. And there you have it. Selected tables successfully backed up. So now you can rest assured that if something goes wrong, all your data is backed up, and you can, with a few clicks, get back to where you were before. But that's not going to happen, is it? So let's go back to the instructions and see what we need to do next. Okay, I'll also take note that if you have mods installed, you should remove them before installing the upgrade. Afterward, you may need to download updated versions for some of those. Okay, I'm going to hide these. Next step is to upload the files. So look at this, it says upload all the files and the folders except any one that might be called special or templates. We're going to do the templates thing later. Okay, so let's go back to our FileZilla. Here on the left, I've got all the files that I want to upload. I'm not going to do the special one, and I'm not going to do the templates one for now. So I'll use the Command or Control A to select them all, but now I'm going to Command Control deselect those, and also I don't want to do that backups folder that we created. Okay, just scroll down and see, oh yeah, they're all selected, everything there. And now I'm going to drag and drop them over to the right side, just like this. Now it's going to say, do you want to overwrite things or the same? Yes, always use that action. Go ahead. And this process might take a couple minutes depending on which upgrade you've selected. If you're upgrading from a newer version, there will be fewer files. It'll go quicker. If you're upgrading from a previous version, say maybe version 7 or 8, that's going to take a little bit longer. And let's just, I'll just pause this and tune back in when we're all uploaded. Okay, and magically all our files are uploaded. So let's go back to the instructions, see what we need to do next. Okay, I'll hide those again. Let's see, number 3 is open the README file from your site. So if you previously opened it as a file on your local computer, now we need to close it and go find it again on your website. So take note, if you look up in the address bar of my browser, you'll see it says file : / and then a local path to the upgrade README file. That's what it's talking about when it says if you opened it previously on your local computer, now we need to close it. And we need to make sure that it's in this format so that we can complete the rest of the instructions. So I'm going to go up here and just let's just erase this part of it. Excellent. It's a little bigger, I guess, now. Last time I viewed this website, I had the view zoomed in, so that's why the difference in font size. But okay, so now we've opened the file from our website, so we're done with step 3. Next is to look at step 4, special files. So there's a folder that you may have noticed called special. If there's anything in there, then I put it there because some people may not want to upload it. It may overwrite special settings. So let's go look and see what's in there. It says in the instructions here there might be a file called subroot.php. A little explanation. So I go back to my FileZilla. If I drill into the special folder, yep, there it is, subroot. So in this case, the subroot file holds on to a path that points to where you might have stashed your config files. Some people have opted to put their config files below the root. Now, if you don't know what that means, if you never changed the config path, then you are free to just upload this subroot file because it's not going to affect anything you've done. If, however, you are familiar with that concept of hiding the config files below the root, then uploading this file will overwrite that setting that you had there before. So in this case, you probably are better off not uploading it. I'm just going to go ahead and upload it because I know I haven't changed anything. Okay, I'm going to go back and let's go check out those settings or those instructions again. Number 5, talking about the template. Okay, so this is a little bit lengthy, so let me just summarize it for you. Basically, if you've been around, had TNG since way back before version 8.1, then you'll know that back then it wasn't as sophisticated. When you wanted to change templates, you had to upload the files for the new template. And if you wanted to change again, you had to repeat the process and you were destroying what you did before. So as of 8.1, it got a lot better. Now you can change the template dynamically. However, if you're still coming from that pre-8.1 environment, then there's a special set of instructions here so that you can upload at least part of the new template environment or the files that go with your template without destroying what you had there before. If none of this sounds familiar to you, or if you first got TNG after version 8.1, you're probably fine to just upload that whole templates folder as is. The only thing that might prevent you from doing so is if you have customized any of the files in your template, like you tinkered with the HTML, in which case you might want to take a closer look at those and merge them together, or upload the folder and then reinstate the changes that you made previously. If you've never touched the files, if your only changes have been in the admin area in the template settings page, then you're free to just upload that whole folder. Let's go back to FileZilla. Just grab that templates folder and just drag it over there. Upload the whole thing as is. So while that's going on, I'm just going to go back to the instructions again. Let's hide that. And go to step 6. Step 6 is the one that most people forget. And what's happening here is that some of the tables may have changed between version 11 and version 12. We've added new fields, we may have added a new index, or we may have changed something on the existing fields. So this script helps bring your old database into line with the new code. And if you're installing an upgrade from an older version, there might be more to do here. But since we're just coming from version 11, the only thing we have to do is click this link. That is it. So I'm going to click it. It's going to open a new window and tell us what it's done. And there you have it. Everything was done successfully. If I run this again, I might see a message here, something like failed or done previously. So if you know you did it already, don't worry if you see a message that says failed or done previously. Okay, and at the bottom you should see that the database has now been updated to version 12 specs. I can close this window and I can hide those instructions. Last one, step 7, clear your cache. So there are instructions here on how to do that if you're not familiar with the process. But basically, the cache is that set of temporary files that your browser holds onto so that if you visit the same site over and over again, it doesn't have to re-download them. Saves you some time, some downloading, some bandwidth. But in this case, the problem with that is that when you go back and look at your site again after upgrading, you may be looking at the cached version of your page, or some of the files that work behind the scenes may be cached, and they might not work so well with the rest of the new code. So in some cases, if you haven't cleared your cache and you go back to the site, you might see things acting strangely. Some sections may not expand, or pop-ups might not work. So if that happens, the first thing you should ask yourself is, did I remember to clear the cache after doing that? So like in Chrome, to clear the cache, you come up to clear browser data. And then you get this page and you just say, here's what I want to clear. Now if I don't want to clear my download history or my cookies, then I leave those blank. The only one you really need to worry about is this cached images and files. So make sure that's the only box checked, and then clear the data. Close that window. Now I'm set to go view my site again, provided there aren't any notes here. There's some notes about the config files being in a different folder, some new template settings that you might want to go look at, and again, if you had mods, you might want to go run a recommended update there and reinstall the ones that you removed. Some other things here, if you had a problem, review the instructions again. Like I said, try clearing the browser cache again. Go back and repeat any steps you may have missed. There's no problem repeating something if you think that might have been the problem. Now when you go to the home page, ta-da, let's see, I know one thing that changed is now the addition of the first names page. That wasn't there in version 11. Also surnames now has pie charts on it. So if I go to the surnames page, aha, everything looks great there. So I'm pretty sure my version 12 upgrade was successful. And that's all. Thanks very much.